Okay, so I'm currently on my way to go see The Fault in Our Stars, and I'm excited. So I'm just now starting to realize the repercussions of my actions and what I'm about to go do by watching this movie, and the emotional turmoil that it is gonna throw me into. But I gotta do it. I was on Tumblr and I watched a clip of Ansel Elgort tap dancing with Jimmy Fallon, and there was a clip of him saying the pain that demands to be felt quote, and I just realized and remembered how funny and how sad at the same time this movie is. And I remembered that I'm going to laugh because everyone has been talking about crying and tears and stuff, but one of my favorite parts about The Fault in Our Stars is one of my favorite parts about The Fault in Our Stars was that it was funny. So we're doing this again because once wasn't enough. Here we go, Fault in Our Stars #2. So I've seen The Fault in Our Stars twice now, and it's time to talk about it. Warning, there will be spoilers. Run away, hide your children, hide your wife. There's gonna be spoilers. I'm going to talk about spoilers because there's no way that I could hold back what I'm feeling right now, and I have to get it all out. So I've seen the movie twice now, and I've already reacted right after I saw it the first time, when everything was so raw and I couldn't articulate very well, but now it's time to have a well-articulated discussion about my favorite parts, and I even took notes. The first thing I'm going to talk about is my premiere experience, what it felt like to sit there on the day that it was coming out with a theater packed full of people who were mumbling the entire preview, so excited. The energy, you could feel it in the room, and everyone just couldn't wait for it to start. One of my favorite experiences from the premiere was the support group smolder scene. And it is called the support group smolder scene because during the support group, Gus is giving the smolder look, I can't do it, but the look. There's a reason why they picked him to be Gus. When he was doing that face, it was so great because every single time it cut back to him with this going on, all of the girls started screaming, and it was hilarious, and I am laughing about it right now in my body because it was funny. It was also incredibly awesome to have everyone laughing and crying out loud, and to know that there was no judgment and that everyone was accepting of everything that was going to happen. One of the things that hit me the hardest was the power of holding hands and the solidarity of two human beings becoming one when there was so much of this going on that meant a lot to me. I think it's pretty much impossible for people to walk out of the movie theater after seeing this film and not think about their loved ones and who they care about and who they care about letting hurt them. And for me personally, I reflected on who I would have at my fake funeral and who I would want to write eulogies for me, and it was a very reflective time, and I was just thinking about all the people who really matter to me, which is important, and it's nice to have those reminders in your life. There was a lot of text in the film, and I feel like they did a great job of showing the text bubbles here and there, and the way they framed the shots with the text bubbles, I really enjoyed. I thought it was really aesthetically pleasing, and I also thought it was cool the way the emails were somewhat transparent, but enough that you could read what they were typing, so thumbs up to that. The soundtrack was incredible. I want to buy the CD right now, and I also want to cover some of the songs because they were so great. And yes, one specific thing I wanted to talk about was how self-aware this story is. This story talks about a story with cancer. In this story, there's a book about cancer. But when Hazel describes it, she says it's a book about cancer, but it's not like that because people's initial reaction to a story about cancer is so predetermined that they could not possibly understand what this story actually means beforehand. It was just funny to hear this story talking about itself and kind of subtly telling you this is not the typical cancer story. Another wonderful scene that needs attention drawn to it was when Gus was riding on a plane for the first time. Oh my gosh, his look of pure joy and excitement after being completely terrified was hilarious. There were so many times when Ansel Elgort was just smiling, and it was contagious. You couldn't look at his smile and not want to smile. So that's a pretty awesome thing for him to have going for him. Right before I saw the movie for the second time, I saw on Tumblr that there was a hidden giraffe sex part in the movie, and I don't know how people noticed it because it's only for a split second, but it's pretty funny, and it's when Hazel is eating food in the mall with her mom, and the giraffes are on the table near the drinks, and yeah. I really liked all the Hectic Glow band posters. I thought that was a nice touch, and there were so many little things that defined these characters that were really great to see. I really liked that they were watching Buffy and Angel, and I really liked that they were watching Aliens. I thought those were cool, and I just watched Aliens the other day, so I thought that was awesome. One beautiful line that I don't think got as much attention as it should have is when Hazel says, "The sky is making me sad." I just feel like That's a really good way to explain when you're upset or when you're sad, and there is no explanation. It's just everything. She says it's everything. Probably the most important theme was privilege, and what a privilege it is to even exist and to have life and to spend it with anyone. And I felt extremely privileged to even be watching this movie and to have such a wonderful reminder that life is beautiful and that there are beautiful things in the world that need to be appreciated. I loved this movie, and I would highly suggest seeing it more than once. The first time I saw it, it was like the Anne Frank house kiss. It was a pure adrenaline rush, and you were completely in the moment. It's a feeling of pure emotion, and it's raw. And the second time seeing it is the way Hazel looks at Gus while he's watching Aliens with such a look of endearment. It's a look just appreciating something else's beauty, and it's just taking it all in completely. And yes, go see The Fault in Our Stars.
Silence!
Aw, Vince.
Fuck. The headphones in the shot. Gotta keep going. Okay.